Okay, now let's get started on the part where we're going to make the earring. So I want to go over again some things that you'll need to know before we get started. One of the first things I want you to know is that I found this on Pinterest, a woman called Honey Quilling. So if you go onto Pinterest and look for Honey Quilling, you can find this and it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Sometimes that's easier for me than watching someone do it. So I want you to have access to both. Okay, some of the things we'll need today is we'll need our paper strips. Okay, so we're going to need 8 strips. I always cut a few more. Well, actually, we're going to need 16 strips because we're going to need to make 2 earrings, obviously. Okay, so we'll have our strips. We'll make 1 circle and 7 things that we talked about earlier, marquees or eyes, whichever you want to call them. Okay, so if you have a quilling tool and it's not one of those big fat handles, you can use that to make the pieces we're going to make today. You can also use an ink pen. It's about the size of the pencil, not one of the big bulky ones again, but just the slender ones that we all have hanging around somewhere. Or you can use a pencil. It needs to be a round one, not the yellow number 2s that have the edges. It needs to be smooth and around. So we can use these today for our tools. Another thing we're going to need is scissors to cut our paper. And we're going to need a ruler. Remember we talked earlier about the ruler. We're going to need the ruler to cut because we want 3-inch strips, the 3-inch strips. Okay, so I'm going to lay all that over there, kind of out of the way. We have our strips. We have our glue. Now, today, instead of using the little bottle, I've got a tub of glue and I'm using toothpicks to help. This is the tool that I use. It's a crochet hook. It's a number 11, which is just about the right size. It's the same size as the pencil, you know, so it's just about right. So if you like to crochet and you have crochet hooks and you have 11, which my daughter tells me a lot of people won't have an 11, but you might. And if you do, you can use that. Okay, and also, as you see down here, I have a little, I call it a cork board. I'm not sure what it is, but it's made out of cork break stuff, and you can stick pins in it. I find this real handy. I cover it with wax paper so the glue doesn't stick to it. You can also use styrofoam, a piece of cardboard, anything that you could stick a pin in. Okay, so let's get started. We want 1 circle and we want 7 of the marquees or the eyes. Okay, so let's get just a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue goes a long, long way on these little tiny strips of paper. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so I'm not following my own instructions. So what I did, I kind of hold it with my thumbnail like that and with my finger up here so it doesn't move. And then I take it away. Be sure that it's straight. And we're going to put a little more glue. I like to put it about a 1/2 inch, and be sure you get it right there on the end because if not it won't stick and then you have to add more glue. All right, and we're going to go around being sure that it stays like we want it. Okay, and then we take it off. Just be sure that it's as straight as we can get it. It's a little wet, got a little too much glue. All right, and then we're going to make an eye, or the marquee, just like this. Open it up just a little bit. Okay, so we have 1 of those made. Wipe the glue off because, you know, you're going to get glue on your thing and then it doesn't want to work right. Okay, let's put just a dab of glue. on the end. Get it straight, holding it with my thumb and my finger, and get it as straight as I can. Okay. Come around and put just a little glue. Get it on the end again, and keep it straight. Okay. You know, that one looks pretty good. We may keep that one for our circle. Okay, so we have one eye and we have one circle. If you notice that I'm turning my paper around, all paper, the one, whether you cut it yourself or whether you buy it cut, will have an edge where it was cut. And if you can tell the difference, sometime on some paper I can't tell, but if you can tell the difference, I like to put that on the inside. I don't know that it makes it look neater, but it just appeals to me to put it on the inside. So if you see me turning the paper over, that's what I'm doing. A lot of times if you can't see it, you can feel it. You can feel the difference. The front side one side will feel smooth, which is the side I put on the outside, and the other side will feel a little rough. Okay, that one's pretty good too. Let's see which one is the best. About the same. Okay, so I want to find that edge and put it there. I like to do the edge in the middle so I know where it is. So when I get ready to put it together, I know where that edge is and I can try to hide it. Now, it's not necessary that you do that. A lot of people that I've watched their videos and read, and even in the books, some will say, oh, always hide it, and others will say, doesn't matter. So I think it's just a matter of taste, what you want to do. Okay, so straight as we can get it, and sometimes that's not as straight as I'd like for it to be, but as long as it's fairly even on the sides, I think you're good. Okay, and then we're going to okay, so let's do that. So we've got 4 made, circle and 2. Okay, so now we'll tell you, it's real easy to get too much glue when you're using a toothpick. So just be aware of that. Okay, oops, that one's all confused, but if you just, since the glue's not dry, sometimes you can just take your fingers and do like that, and it'll straighten up and go like you want it to. After the glue dries, you're on your own. There are ways of getting it undone, and I have when I've been working on a huge project, and it would mean really starting over. I have taken it apart, but it wasn't easy, and so Put on something little like this. If it doesn't work, just make another one. We've only need a few pieces. And that's one thing about quilling that everybody says that I've read their books, is that you don't have to be perfect. Excuse me. Allergies are crazy today. You don't have to be perfect, and just make another one. It's paper and glue. Okay, so this is 2 more after this one, and we'll have all of our pieces made. Remember to hold it with your thumb and your finger and get it started. Okay. I will tell you, the more of these you make, and believe me, I've made a lot practicing to do this. I may have to start giving earrings away, but at least I've made them in different colors. I have yellow and orange and pink and red, I think. Been using my scrap paper. Okay. One thing, a word about paper, if you are thinking about ordering one of the kits, is that there are ways to store paper, and if you have the paper and you want me to give you some hints on how I store mine, then I can tell you about that. Won't go into it here because hopefully there'll be some new people out there that don't have paper, and the ones that have been in my class that have bought the kits, then I've probably already told you how I store my paper. But I also like to keep pieces. Sometimes your strip will be longer than what you need, and even if you only have 3 inches of paper left, you can use it. Okay, so we have all of our pieces made for this one earring. Okay, so I like to take my circle and I want to find the edge. Okay, so I'm going to put it right there, and I'll put pins on it because I want it to stay where I put it, and it won't often do that if you don't. Okay, so now take our piece and we're going to put them together. Okay, I like to find the edge and use that, especially on this first row that we're going to make. So we're going to put 4 of these. Kind of an angle from each other. So there is my, so I'm just putting it on one side at this point, and sticking it to the one that's there, plus on the edge, putting it on the edge. Sorry guys, I need to pick this up and get it closer to me so I can be sure I'm doing it right. Okay. For all of you that know that I was going to have cataract surgery, I'll just let you know that it all went well. I can see brilliantly out of one eye, and because of everything that's happening in our world, the other eye has been postponed. So I have one eye that I see really well out of, and one eye that I don't see very well. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on both sides of this one. It doesn't so matter that I find the edge on this one, because for the most part it's going to be hid. I'm going to put it like that, and then, but out of habit, I look for the edge. And we're going to put some glue on both sides, and we're going to put it right in, whoops, in there. All right. Okay, now we have our earring all put together. We're going to let that dry. Now, if you've got it on wax paper, then when you start to get out, if it's stuck a little bit, just take your pen and slide it under it, and it'll pop right off. So wax paper is your friend. All right, we have the yellow one. Let me talk about that. Okay, so I have the clear fingernail polish. Any brand, it doesn't have to be that one. I think got that one at maybe either the Dollar Tree or Walmart, I'm not sure. But okay, we're going to take that, and we want to seal our earring because we're going to be wearing it. And so we're going to seal it. We're going to paint it. Just take the little brush, and we're going to paint all the way around, and paint then the top of it and on the inside. And we're going to let that dry. And when it gets dry, then we'll turn it over and we'll paint the other side. So that helps protect our earring so that we can wear it. Okay, and then we're going to need, whoops, wrong earring. Okay, we're going to need the fish hook earring and the jump ring. Okay, so we'll need two of those, and we'll put it on there. And this is what the earring looks like once you get it on the jump ring and the earring thing. So I made this one. This is the first one I made because I wanted to, I have a new pink dress, and I may get to wear it this spring, but if not, there's other springs to wear it. But I wanted earrings to go with it. So there are those. Okay, so if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. If you have questions, I will try to answer the questions if you leave them in the comment section. I'm not sure exactly how that will work right now. Also, if you would like for me to do another program, please let me know, and we'll see if we can make it work again. Thank you for your time. How do I turn it off?